Señor, ¿puedo decirme de hypertrichosis while las cargas que pasen?
Sí, señor. Entra dentro.
Hypertrichosis, informally known as werewolf syndrome, is the excessive growth of hair all around the body, eyelids, palms, elbows, and all the unusual places hair should really not grow. However, no hair grows in the pubic area and where puberty has struck all around the body. There are two types of hypertrichosis. Congenital, which is present during birth, so you are born as a furry fetus, or later acquired, where hypertrichosis then strikes your body later on. But today we'll be focusing more on congenital hypertrichosis because it's much cooler than acquired hypertrichosis. Believe it or not, there is really no major downside to hypertrichosis except for being absurdly furry and getting well-renowned international media and sideshow stardom and fame. For example, Larry Gomez, who has cognitive terminal hypertrichosis, grows hair all over his entire body. His upper torso, his eyelids, his entire face is swarmed with impigmented little furry hairs all over his face, giving him the name Wolf Boy on set for the TV or live performances at the Venice Beach Freak Show, which you should definitely check out because he's a really nice guy. And he dresses very nice and classy. To playing supporting roles in Water for Elephants starring Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. It debuted in 2011. That's also a good movie. Also check that out. Also, Henry II of England had a peculiar fascination for strange quirks of nature, unlike many of his contemporaries. Brought to him as a gift in 1547, Pedro Gonzalez, a 10-year-old boy bearing hypertrichosis duly noted as a half-human and half-animal, astonished Henry II, granting Pedro to stay with him. Pedro and Henry II kicked it in his castle, and Pedro told him funny jokes, and they became really good friends because Henry II really accepted this different kind of humanality or different kind of culture. P.T. Barnum soon caught on to this truly immersive world, hiring Fyodor Jefetu of Russia to become Jojo the Dog-Faced Boy, wowing audiences, becoming one of the most successful sideshow attractions circus pioneer P.T. Barnum could offer.
Cuando se comienza a notar hypertrichosis, puedo hacerlo.
Congenital hypertrichosis is always present at birth, so when you are born you have hypertrichosis, and it's really apparent because you're a really furry infant, and babies like that should not be furry at all. There are three different types of congenital hypertrichosis. The first is hypertrichosis languos, which is that when the infant is completely born, it is covered in thin languo hair. Normally the languo hair is shed and replaced with vellus hair. Instead, the languo hair remains after birth on the hands, soles, and feet of the newborn infant. However, as this person ages with affected hypertrichosis languos, the languo hair may thin and leaving only limited areas of hypertrichosis on the body. The second type of congenital hypertrichosis is generalized hypertrichosis, which is just the excessive facial and upper body hair. Generalized hypertrichosis normally starts where the breasts or the nipples are on your breast, and it's just completely upwards from that part of the torso up until it covers the complete face. Now, the third type of terminal hypertrichosis is the most publicized and famed version of hypertrichosis, earning its disease nickname of the werewolf syndrome because of the thick, dark hair that covers the entire body of the affected human. Now, this is the most famous version of hypertrichosis because sideshow attractions and circuses have formerly used this type of hypertrichosis because of the patient's unusual appearance and hairiness around the whole entire body.
Todo esto es muy interesante para mí. ¿Me puedo decir más acerca de la historia de la hypertrichosis?
Now, I can only give you so much history because very little information can be traced back to the original discovery of hypertrichosis because there have only been 50 recorded cases since the Middle Ages. It has been said, legend has it, that the first recordings of hypertrichosis was found in a small isolated family in Mexico. Now, Zhu Zhang, a Chinese professor of medical genetics who also has congenital hypertrichosis, have tested himself and found an extra chunk of X chromosomes, concluding that the family in Mexico also had an extra chunk of X chromosome. Now, there's been much controversy and theories about what hypertrichosis' origins are. Where does hypertrichosis stem from? What is hypertrichosis really? Well, one of the theories is that congenital hypertrichosis may be caused by a mutation on the 8 chromosome, or might possibly also be a spontaneous genetic mutation rather than inheritance from parents that have suffered from drug addiction or cancer. That's just one theory. Now, another one is that it's thought that congenital hypertrichosis is changes on the chromosome 17, resulting in loss of millions of nucleotides, causing the process of hair loss to diminish and hair growth to increase. Because of the loss of nucleotides, there's no instruction on how much hair to grow or how much hair to lose. So, this sporadic hair growth is just rampant because the body or the hypertrichosis affected genetic materials is going crazy.
Basta ya de estas teorías de donde viene hypertrichosis medicamentalmente viene en su opinión.
In my personal opinion, off all of the research I've done over the last 2 weeks, I believe that the hypertrichosis is due to the affected chromosome 17 because of the loss of nucleotides, resulting in the loss of instructing proteins to be made, creating hair growth to be randomly spread out across the body and the amounts spread out across the body as well.
¿Qué tipo de mochanos causa de hypertrichosis y dónde se ven efecto en el cúpero? Que también me muestran las imágenes detalladas, por favor.
In the localized isolated Mexican family where hypertrichosis was first recorded, it was first stated that there was a genetic mutation to the 17 chromosome. Now that Zhu Shang's family also had hypertrichosis in a modern day time and age, the American Journal of Human Genetics tested not only the Mexican's family DNA that was saved from previous history times, I guess, Zhu Zhang's family in modern day, and an Indian family that was name is not publicly released due to they don't want people to know that they have hypertrichosis. But there is an Indian family that does have hypertrichosis, and what it did all reveal that there was a genetic mutation indeed in chromosome 17, specifically in X24 to X27.1. This also revealed a spontaneous deletion ranging from 173 BP inside of these X24 to X27.1 to 173 BP to 9104 in the 17 chromosome at the site of insertions with no phenotypic consequences, causing abnormal hair growth all around the body. Now, this happens inside the 17 chromosome and specifically in Q17, X24 to Q27.1. Unfortunately, there are no genetic preventions or treatments for congenital hypertrichosis, only temporary treatments such as stuff we would do today to get rid of hair. So stuff like shaving, waxing, plucking, all of those god-awful things to rid hair.
¿Cómo afecta la hypertrichosis cuerpo?
Hypertrichosis only physically affects the body by growing excessive amounts of hair all around the body where hair should not normally be grown.
Son los sistemas del cúpero, órganos, tejidos, células, organulos celulares, consignos afectados por hypertrichosis.
Surprise of anyone studying hypertrichosis, including myself, surprisingly enough, no internal body systems, no organs, no tissues, or organelles are affected by hypertrichosis. The only thing affected is the physical and exterior appearance of the person affected by hypertrichosis. So, skin cells are affected due to the excessive amount of hair is grown from the skin cells, and hair follicles are also affected.
Si mi amigo tiene hypertrichosis, ¿hay alguna prevención, comportamiento, dieticios o tratamientos para curar la hypertrichosis?
Unfortunately, there are no dietary behavioral preventions or treatments to cure congenital hypertrichosis due to the fact that it is apparent and present at birth. So you are born with hypertrichosis.
Habrá más investigación en el futuro para hypertrichosis.
All research is underway to find out more information about hypertrichosis, although data information is very limited due to insufficient amounts of people that have hypertrichosis. It is said that there are only 200 people globally that have hypertrichosis today. A genetic mutation and disease having only one person is diagnosed within a billion.